Caesar 5.33, 4 and 5. Quod concilium. This plan, and this quote is looking back toward the plan he described before of leaving the baggage behind in the camp, making a quick exit. Etsi, even though, in eius modi casu, in a situation of this kind, this is a funny little word, they spell it together, but it's really just eius modi, of this kind. Reprehendum non est. Nice, passive paraphrastic there. It was not to be found fault with. So, wasn't to be criticized, something like that. Tamen, nevertheless, incommode accidit. It turned out poorly. Nam, 4. Et. All right, we've got a double et. That's going to be a both and. And I think in this case for the translation, we're not going to translate that, for it diminished the hope of our soldiers. Nam et nostris militibus spem minuit, et, and also, hostes ad pugnam alacriores effecit. Effecit, it made hostes, the enemy, alacriores, more eager, ad pugnam, for fighting. And alacriores, this is a predicate nominative, so effecit's called a factative verb. You make the enemy, so enemy is your do, effecit is your main verb, but then, what do we make them? More eager. So it modifies the direct object there. Quod, because, non sine sumo timore, not without the greatest fear, et desperatione, and desperation, id factum videbatur. And I stuck esse in there. It's factum esse. This would seem factum esse to be done. All right, little complementary infinitive there, factum esse. And looking back here, we also have, here's a nice one, minuit. That's the main verb of this bit, and its direct object is spem there. Really nice. So we're moving on to 5. Praeterea, moreover, accidit, it happened. Quod fieri necesse erat. Caesar often has a little phrase like this, little aside here, which was necessary to happen. How do we say that? Something like, and it had to happen. Ut vulgo. Now we've got ut, and this starts us off on this giant result clause. It happened that, and then comes the result. There's one imperfect subjunctive, discaterant. Here's 2 imperfect subjunctives, haberet. Here's a 3rd imperfect subjunctive, properaret. And here is your final and 4th imperfect subjunctive, complerentur. So 4 things happened. It happened that, vulgo, everywhere, milites, the soldiers, ab signis discaterant, they departed from their standards, quaeque quisque, and each, how did I do this? There's a nice little phrase here. Whatever each man, it literally means each man and each of their things. I'm going to say whatever each man, eorum carissima haberet, haberet held, carissima, dearest, eorum, of them, there's a nice superlative there, ab impedimentis petera, atque aripere, properat. Properat, they hurried, petere, to find, ab impedimentis, from the equipment, atque aripere, and to grab. Clamore et fletu omnia complerentur. Everything was filled with shouting and fear. Oh, look at that. Passive verb form. Look for the ablative. There it is right there. Filled by shouting and weeping. Nice. So we end with a scene of chaos and despair. Shocking.